Hello and welcome to my video series about the character and world lore of Wuchang Fallen Feathers. I'm interpreting it to the best of my ability. If I miss something or get details wrong, let me know and I'll be sure to correct it. For the first video in this series, I've chosen what is, in my opinion, the most tragic background story of the game, the relationship between Commander Honglan and Yu Xia. But before we get started, there's something I have to address. Patch 1.5 altered some of the descriptions for spells and armor, specifically related to Honglan and Yu Xia. I've never had lore get rewritten as I'm working on a video, so this is uncharted territory. I wasn't sure if I should stick with the old lore, use only the new lore, or both. Ultimately, for the sake of media preservation, I decided to use both. With that said, let's get into it. Their story begins around 1644. Some years prior to the events of the game. Peasants revolted against the Empire, and when they sacked the capital, the Emperor was hanging around. The Emperor's favorite concubine, Yu Xia, was devastated by his death. Honglan, being the commander of the Imperial Guard, was well acquainted with Yu Xia, and at some point in time, the commander fell deeply in love with the consort. Yu Xia was not blind to Honglan's affection, and so once Yu Xia heard the rumors of the powers of resurrection in the land of Shu, she knew Honglan would move heaven and earth to fulfill her dream of resurrecting the Emperor and restoring the Ming dynasty. Honglan made Yu Xia's dream her own, despite knowing her infatuation would never be fully reciprocated. For if she could bring a smile to the face of that crumbling consort again, she would brave any danger. What began as merely using the commander to pursue her own goals, companionship out of necessity, as there are few, if anybody else, Yu Xia could rely on to see her goal to its conclusion, became a loyal friendship, even gifting Honglan an ice crystal, a prized possession the Emperor had bestowed upon her. Honglan's obsession deepened. In her brocade bag, she keeps a love charm made from strands of their hair. The bag itself features the character for Summer, which, as you may have guessed, is Xia. And if you give the bag to Yu Xia, she is heartbroken to learn of Honglan's death. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's rewind a little. Out of all the item descriptions in the game, a few are written in the first person. One example is the commander's hairpin, which reads, "Honglan's ascent to power was a gradual one. Though her hands are stained with blood, I long to see her smile once more." Presumably, this is from Yu Xia's perspective. Coupled with the consort garment's description, her path was fraught with hidden emotions. It implies Honglan's feelings might not have been so unrequited after all. When Wuchang first meets Yu Xia, she recounts the tale of Wuchang's defeat against Lu Honglu, the cause of her feathering, and she is glad to see her recuperating. At this point in time, Yu Xia does not know why Wuchang is in Shu, but she does know she is a great warrior. Yu Xia is expecting to have heard from Honglan by now, whose last known location was the Shu Sanctum. She tells Wuchang that she might be able to find something there to help with her affliction. What you do find in the Sanctum is a letter that was supposed to be delivered to Yu Xia on the corpse of the courier. It reads, "I've sent my subordinates to the palace. Keep a close eye on the burning cave and make sure no one catches wind of it. Once the relic is secured, we'll meet at the Reverend Temple. Hope. Treasure this moment and wait for the good news." There's nothing at the Sanctum that can help Wuchang. Yu Xia sent her there because a capable warrior could find out why there was no word from Honglan. When you give her the letter, she is anticipating news, and when Wuchang is unsure of her next steps, Yu Xia advises her to stay away from the Tang Emperor's palace. Again, she does not know Wuchang is after the chisels, but she knows Wuchang is extremely dangerous. She is steering her away from the palace, away from Honglan, because she doesn't want a wildcard one-woman army potentially crossing swords with the commander. After Wuchang's clash with Honglan, the commander sent a letter to Yu Xia that states, "The relic is secured, but Cloudspire has fallen to the rebels. The situation is dire. Though Duke Liu holds the line, their assaults persist. Uncertainty looms. I have taken my forces through the Reverend Temple's side gate. We will coordinate from within. Rest assured, should anything change, word will reach you at once." Honglan has gone to Cloudspire after having barely survived a duel with Wuchang. Just about everything in the game is pointing you at Cloudspire, except Yu Xia. She tells Wuchang of Zheng Shenjiang's conquest of Shu, and how his son has taken the fallen sovereign's body to Zhenwu Temple. Yu Xia wants Wuchang to investigate Zhenwu because she does not want Wuchang going to Cloudspire and going another round with Honglan. Of course, Wuchang's current destination is Cloudspire, which has fallen from within. The Madam has allied with the rebels and slaughtered the Imperial forces in and around Snowfall Palace, taking Honglan prisoner in the process. Wuchang inevitably finds the captive commander, where she humorously remarks about their meeting in such a place. She asks what happened to the Madam, and she's envious of Wuchang for being the one to have killed Yan. She then tells Wuchang it was out of respect for her father, who was an Imperial Guard himself, that she spared Wuchang when they fought, and requests she return the favor by helping her escape. Wuchang obliges and gets her the key to the cell. Honglan appreciates the assist, saying Wuchang upheld her family honor, but warns that next time, there will be no mercy. Wuchang returns to the temple, and Yu Xia thanks her for freeing Honglan, going so far as to say she owes her a favor. Once more, she points her toward Zhenwu Temple. Yu Xia knows Wuchang could clear it, and so Honglan wouldn't have to step into the tiger's den. Unfortunately, Yu Xia's efforts to keep Honglan safe were in vain. After Shu is engulfed by the feathering, with the bow attacking in force, Commander Honglan would face the bow magus in battle, and she would fall in a ruinous defeat, becoming feathered. Knowing the horrors of what she will become, Honglan waited in the depths of Doomwillow Beach for somebody strong enough to put her down. As fate would have it, that somebody is Wuchang, the envoy of demise. Honglan was prepared to meet her end, but she is honored that it is Wuchang freeing her from corruption. With her dying breath, Honglan bids farewell to Yu Xia in this life. Should you decide to spare Yu Xia the revelation of Honglan's tragic end, you can present your father's Imperial Guard token to her as a vow to help her restore the Ming. However, Wuchang has her own obsession. She needs the chisel that was used to resurrect the Emperor for her sister, and so she turns her blade upon the Emperor, reborn as a feathered monster. Somehow, he survives, and with a catastrophic rupture, he returns to his completely normal human form, which causes the floor to crumble, and everybody in the burning cave plummets into the once-buried Bo capital. By some providence, Durial uses his divine power to soften their fall, preventing otherwise certain death. Yu Xia leaves a letter for Wuchang next to the shrine, thanking her for delivering the Emperor from his monstrous form, and hoping that their paths may cross again. And that brings us to the end of Yu Xia and Honglan's story. Or at least that is how it ends now. In the first few weeks after Wuchang's launch, Yu Xia's story had a very different ending. Maybe. Prior to patch 1.5, after defeating the Emperor and falling into the Bo capital, the bodies of him and Yu Xia were exactly where they are now. However, there was no interaction prompt, no letter, just the consort garb where Yu Xia was lying when the areas reloaded. This led pretty much everybody to believe they were dead. After patch 1.5, there is an interaction prompt which tells you they are breathing and will soon wake, along with the letter from Yu Xia. And if you look closely, they are breathing. This change seems to be the one that pissed people off the most, because it spits in the face of the game's moral. The theme of Wuchang Fallen Feathers is that obsession is a monkey's paw. Yu Xia's obsession with restoring the Ming Empire got her killed. Honglan's obsession with Yu Xia was the death of her. Huang Yan's obsession with finding a perfect bride for her son created a monster. Wuchang's obsession with resurrecting her sister creates a loop that cycles thousands of times until she breaks it by letting go of her obsession. But now in Yu Xia's case, if you're obsessed with the right person, you are immutable to that moral. The frustration is understandable, yet on the other hand, I'm fairly certain her story didn't actually change. They just added more detail to make it definitive. Allow me to explain. I've seen anecdotal reports that their bodies were always breathing. I have no way of confirming this, so consider it with reservations. I can tell you, from experience, they have always been physical objects. You cannot walk through them, a trait they share with living NPCs. Furthermore, it made zero sense for Duryal to have put one of his magical falling death prevention circles beneath them for both the Emperor and Yu Xia to just die anyway. As for how the Emperor is human again, your guess is as good as mine, but this video isn't about him. And after reloading the area, both bodies were gone. It seems highly likely that they had always survived, but their fate was more ambiguous. Anyway, this tangent has digressed enough from the focus of the video. Out of all the characters and storylines in Wuchang, this one is my favorite. A tragic tale of selfless devotion. Honglan's love is painfully one-sided. She knows there is no future with Yu Xia, no happily ever after with her. Yet still, she'd risk everything to fulfill the dream of her beloved, and there's something disturbingly beautiful about that. Thank you for watching to the end. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, comment, and share it. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks. I'll see you when I see you.